Hey, what's going on? It's the Mighty Mike C of the Fearless Four. Right here doing my thing with the Fearless Four. Team Fearless, Cold Coffee Crew. It is what it is. Basically the music. The music and the togetherness. It seemed like hip hop would bring so many people together in one area to have fun that, I had to be a part of it. Before hip hop, it was mainly about gangs and stuff like that. And it was really nothing for us to really embrace in that way besides sports and stuff like that, but in gangs. But when hip hop came, we embraced it in such a way that it became an outlet for all of us. So that's what really pulled me into it, because I'm just that type of person. I used to love the attention and just love to get on, just do my thing and feel the whole spirit and the whole vibe of it. Playing in the park in Manhattanville Projects in the baseball field. And I had already got a little name or whatever, and I was really young. I was a little young, skinny kid, but I had a real strong voice, and I had got a little local name for myself. And when the guy introduced me to get on the microphone, the crowd roared yeah. And I was like, wow, I can't, I didn't believe I had that type of power. And I was a young guy then. So that was my one of the best earliest memories of me in hip hop. What made me first start, I was in school, in junior high school, and there was an MC called Jimmy West, who was one of my good friends, and we used to hang out at lunchtime. And one day I come to lunch, and I was out for 2 days, and I came to lunch, and I noticed that Jimmy West had all the girls around him, and I went over there, and Jimmy West was sitting there saying these rhymes. And I'm listening, I'm going, I could do that. And I felt like, if I do that, I can get the attention from the girls too. So I did the same thing the next day and had the attention, and thus, Mike C and hip hop was born. I was MC Shu though before I was Mike C. It was MC Shu, but that's when it was born for me. I was in different groups. I tried different entities of it, different things in hip hop. I was never a break dancer. I was a DJ at one point, but I was never a break dancer. Peso of the Fearless Four, we all grew up in the same building, and Tito and I and DLB went to the same school. So things clicked, one thing led to another, and I became a member. When I became a member, it was the Fearless Five. One member, my man Mike Ski, he left the group, and we became the Fearless Four again. And we never turned back. We never looked back. We did what we had to do, and we're here, still here. Here we are, over 30 years later. The Fearless Four still here, still doing our thing. My family was behind me 100%. Even though we rehearsed a lot at my house, and my mother used to complain about us making a lot of noise, we would go right outside the house on the terrace and beat on the windows. But we rehearsed a lot, and my family was behind me. My mother and father, and my brothers, sisters, and everybody, the whole family was behind me 100%. Especially when it came to hip hop, because it kept me out the streets in a negative way. I mean, if I was in the streets, at least I wasn't out there doing anything crazy. I was out there basically just rhyming and getting the crowd and doing things like that. At one point in my life, I was really shy. I was really shy. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of strange that I'm at the level where I'm at now to where I can get in front of people. But I think one of my biggest challenges was at the State Building in Harlem. I got on the microphone by myself and did a little bit of this song I wrote called Strawberry Queen. And I did that for the crowd by myself, and the crowd was with me. And that kind of made me feel like, all right, if I can do this by myself, I can always do this. I'm most proud of everybody else in hip hop. The reason I say that is because I know that I was one of the pioneers that helped open the door for hip hop. Like, I was in the group that was the first group to sign with a major label. I hung with the best in the business. Until this day, I'm still close friends and family with the best in the business, and I feel that being that part of it, being that is what it's all about to me. I just want them to remember that we opened the door for people to make all this money and make all these millions and make these records. I mean, everybody had records back then, but they were on local labels. When we signed with a major label, the other major labels opened their eyes to hip hop. And I just want people to remember that. We're already in the history books for that, but I want them to continue to remember that. That way it's like each one teach one. One man stands on top of the other. We all help each other. And for us doing that, if people continue to do that, hip hop will always be here. It's not going away anyway, but hip hop will always be here. It's going to be years and years later where hip hop will be like hieroglyphics on the cave, but it'll always be hip hop.